Welcome to the first episode of Drawy, and today I'm going to talk about Bunnicula, reminds me of Count Duckula, and the next one's going to be Horselicula, which is BoJack Horseman getting bit by a vampire. Bunnicula is a cartoon series that is based on the children's books by the same name, which was written and created by... Anyway, Bunnicula is a new series that came out this year, and it's quite good. One of the producers is Maxwell Atom, who did the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, as well as Evil Con Connery. Wonder if any of you guys can remember that one. So it has his flavor to it. The character designs are quite cute, and they look very cuddly and sweet. But it also has like gross-ish elements to it. Not as gross and as off-putting as the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, but you can still see Atom's influence. For example, in the opening sequence of every episode, we see how Chester, Harold, and Mina meet Bunnicula, how they move in. Before the title, Bunnicula, Harold, and Chester are surrounded by these monsters, and Bunnicula like throws up himself and throws up himself again, and then he makes like a semicircle in front of the camera to scare them off. That's one of them, and the other one is he makes his head blow up. And I think there's more, but those are the only ones that I can remember. Like the grossness thing is when Bunnicula's like busy like eating a carrot, and then you see the back of his head, and then his face like morphs from the front of his head to the back of his head, if that makes any sense. So it's kind of like those little grossy things, but it's cute, so it's not as gross, but it's as element of it. Anyway, the characters: Chester is a cat, Harold is a big stupid dog, obviously because all big things are stupid. Chester is of course clever because all little things are clever. But Bunnicula doesn't speak English, I think. He speaks gibberish. So Harold can understand him, Chester cannot. Although I think in a few episodes it did look as though Chester could understand him. In the last episode, Chester makes a comment that Bunnicula was just teasing him, playing around and pretending to speak gibberish. So it's kind of like unclear if he was, because Bunnicula's a jokester. Mina is the owner, whom they all adore and love like pets do. And to see the relationship and the dynamic between mostly the pets and Mina, the owner, is very nice and heartwarming. That you can actually see the general love and affection, them to her and her to them. So that's always quite cool. Kind of reminds me of, I guess, because I just got into it a bit more, Darkwing Duck and Gosling. Anyway, the plot of Bunnicula is that he's a vampire rabbit, and the reason why he reminds me of Count Duckula is because instead of sucking blood, he sucks vegetables. But however, each different vegetable gives him different superpowers. Like this one episode, Mina comes home and she has to work late at night to do homework, and she gives all the pets, but they're very people-like, so all the pets, people pets, Chester, Harold, Bunnicula, Bunnick, as Harold likes to call him. She gives them gifts, and one of the gifts from Bunnicula was garlic, and Chester like keeps a list of all the vegetables and what they do to him. And he starts freaking out because he doesn't know what the garlic's gonna do. Bunnicula like plays a trick where because he's supernatural, he can make himself disappear, transform, and he can take his limbs off his body, which is quite cool. So he has his head roll. And in another episode, he's busy playing with the ghost dog, and he throws the stick, and the ghost dog runs after it, but it's actually his arm. And it cuts back to Bunnicula, and you see his body with a little bone where his arm was meant to be. So it's like those little cute, gross things. Anyway, back to this episode. So Bunnicula managed to make himself into a baby form, and the entire episode is Chester trying to look after this baby Bunnicula without knowing it's the real Bunnicula in baby form. Bunnicula is a good guy. He treats his friends and his family very well. He cares for them, he saves them, he looks after them. A lot of supernatural stuff occurs because of him and because of the house. The house is like next door to this witch ladies. I'm not sure if that's right. Shop where they can buy a whole bunch of products which are supernatural. In one of the episodes that I've seen, I haven't seen all of them in order, and I've only seen them on television. Not sure if Bunnicula was originally evil and he became good when he got a family. I think that Bunnicula isn't evil, he's just like a gigantic goofball who probably used to do evil things. Like in this one episode, one of his servants, which is like an evil hamster, guinea pig type thing, escapes from a loony bin and tries to be his master. And he's like very upset at Chester, who doesn't respect Bunnicula as a master. But anyway, I think, like I was saying, Bunnicula, I think he used to be evil, but he's actually a good guy now. The animation is very smooth. Like I said, the characters are very cute. They have a lot of simple personality, like Chester's the smart one, who's not into magic. Harold's the dumb one, who's more accepting and into magic. And he's a goofball, but I like him. Bunnicula is the pusher of the plot. Like, he makes things happen, or things happen to him, such as the servant hamster guinea pig episode, or when he buys stuff from the witch lady's shop. But he mostly does stuff to like help his other people, like in Weird Dude, where Chester wanted to be a human and he went and got out Patches, who is a weird dude. He was a cat that turned to a human to nibble on Chester so Chester can be a human. So Bunnicula does stuff to either help people or to screw with Chester. Oh yeah, I was talking about the animation. The animation is very smooth. It flows nicely. The backgrounds, they look good. They're not too detailed. And the characters like really pop out. It's not very dark, which is a good thing. It's not scary, which is a better thing. I think the Adventures of Billy and Mandy, the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy were a lot more scarier for me. But then again, I was like a lot younger. The stories are episodic. They're not very detailed because there's not much character growth. However, there is character growth with Chester, because in some episodes Chester is like hectically against Bunnicula, and in other episodes he's for Bunnicula. In the one episode where he wants to have Bunnicula adopted at this pet night thing that Mina, the owner, was helping other people with, but he has a change of heart and he does stop Bunnicula from getting adopted by taking the adopt me sign away, but he ends up giving it to Harold, and Harold ends up getting adopted by mistake. And that entire episode they have to go and like save Harold. I'm not sure how accurate it is to the novels, to the books that it's based on, because I only read like the Wikipedia article briefly. But from what I can gather, they kept the characters of Bunnicula, obviously, Chester and Harold, but Mina in the book series doesn't exist, and a whole bunch of other characters in the book series don't exist, I think, so far. But then again, I haven't seen every single episode, so I'm not sure. However, in one episode, it's the one with the haunted dog house, where the pets have to spend the night in the haunted dog house, and there's this ghost dog that just wants to play. But they make a reference to one of the old pets called Pete, and Pete was one of the characters from the books. So I think that was a bit of a throwback. I think it was quite sweet once I looked it up. The reason why I wanted to talk about Bunnicula, because it's a new series, it doesn't have that many episodes, and I would like it to maybe carry on? I'm not sure, because me personally, I get bored of series after the first season, but this one is kind of a fun one to catch when it's on television. You don't have to follow it regularly, and you can still get what's going on. The characters are nice, they're well developed, even though they're quite simple. But it's fun. I think the fact that you can't understand what Bunnicula is saying adds to the comedy because you're in Chester's shoes. And it's just fun to watch. The character's very cute. That's why I think I drew Bunnicula like twice and I have him on my cell phone. And it's a fun time. The colors are great. The stories are simple but great. So you can predict what's gonna happen, but you can't really. It's kind of that Maxwell Atom style, which is quite cool. And basically, if you get anything from this rambling, go check it out. You may enjoy it. I hope you do enjoy it. Yeah, just check it out. It's a fun little series. Probably get into the Halloween spirit. But if you're not into the Halloween spirit, like me, I'm not into horror. But it's a fun cartoon series. It's new, it's fresh. And although there are lots of good cartoon series nowadays, none of them are new and none of them are fresh, which isn't a bad thing, but just to have like a taste of things, something else, just to have a taste of something that was quite good and fun and nice. Hey guys, Blue Gloves here. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you see, please feel free to subscribe and share. Comment down below what you think of the video and what you think of Bunnicula. Sorry for not posting as often as I should. And I hope you guys have a good night and day. Bye bye.